Hi, I'm Lewis, also known as Scaffles, and welcome to my 12th devlog for my tower defense game, Project Torrim. Over the last few weeks I've been working on a level editor for the game. So far this level editor allows you to create backgrounds by placing layers of tiles. Last week I worked on creating an easy to use UI for this editor, and this week I want to start adding more advanced features to the editor. The main feature I want to add is what I'm calling a Sprite Resizer. The aim of the Sprite Resizer is similar to, say, a rectangle in Paint.net. When the sprite is placed down, you can resize it by grabbing the sides and moving it by clicking on the middle. This should aid in creating large level backgrounds, and later on in development might even help with adding game objects to a level, which is a very important part of a level editor. Let's begin by creating the Resizer functionality. This seems to be coming along nicely. There's just a bit more work to do and then it should be ready. I've just about finished creating the Resizer functionality, and I've enjoyed creating it because it's gone through a few different iterations to get to the current point. The first iteration was a sprite that could scale to the mouse position whenever you clicked inside of it. The second iteration introduced edges and anchoring, so the sprite would only resize when you clicked an edge, and the sprite would anchor its opposite edge. Unfortunately, you cannot flip the texture by heading towards the opposite edge, but I don't think that's a huge issue. The third iteration was part of another task I had thought of called Tile Sprites into Area. This is just another mode that the Resizer could use to repeat a texture as opposed to stretching as seen in the previous two iterations. The fourth and final iteration of the Sprite Resizers functionality was to integrate it with my current draggable component. So here I can drag this square around, and if I click on its edges I can resize it. I'm happy with this progress. I may have broken the existing draggable objects in both the level editor and the game, but I think the time to fix those is well worth having this Sprite Resizer functionality. Now that I have Sprite Resizers, I need to actually add them to my level editor. Unfortunately, I'm unsure how to start doing this because placing tiles is so entrenched in the level editor's code. So I'm going to spend some time with the editor and go for a walk to think this one through. After playing around with the editor a little, I've got a plan. The editor needs two modes, tile mode and object mode. Tile mode is what I've developed so far, whereas object mode will place down an object that can be dragged and resized with the code I've been working on this week. So let's see how this goes. Progress on the object mode for the level editor is coming along nicely. So far I can select a sprite to place onto the grid, and if I try clicking after placing the sprite, no more will be placed. I can drag this sprite around and it will snap to the grid, which is quite nice. If I'm accurate with my mouse, I can click the edge of this object to resize the sprite, which also snaps to the grid. Unfortunately, when I release the sprite, there is a camera issue where the camera will jump the amount you resize the sprite. This is a pain, but a lot better than before when the camera would move when you tried resizing the sprite. I'll look into fixing this soon. This is absolutely fantastic progress. I can use this to cover large areas in a level background, and later on in development I will use this for placing game objects such as walls and paths. Whilst I'm happy with this progress, this is not complete. I still need to add things like saving and loading of objects, introduce the ability to add game objects, and fix a lot of smaller issues that I've been noticing whilst working on the editor. However, next week I will not necessarily be working on these changes. I've signed up for the GMTK Game Jam, which should be a nice change of pace, and I hope to have a small game by the end of it. Therefore, my next devlog will be covering my experiences during the GMTK Game Jam. Since the Game Jam will be ongoing during my usual upload time, I will be releasing the devlog a little later than usual. I'm hoping to have a great time with this jam, so remember to look out for that devlog. Thank you for watching this devlog for Project Torrim. I am really enjoying working on this project. Please let me know if you're enjoying it by clicking the like button and leaving a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep up to date with the progress on the game. Thank you and goodbye.